Hello everyone, my name is Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a weight loss vlog. It is Friday, the 23rd of August, and the last video I filmed that was a weight loss vlog got some pretty good feedback. So here I am, back again, ready to film another one. I just want to catch everybody up. If you're new here, I started this channel, or I started posting on this channel because I'm trying to lose 100 pounds, and yeah, basically I do what I eat in a days, I do day in my lives, I do weight loss vlogs, and I just kind of keep everybody up to date on the mental, physical, emotional challenges of losing weight, and that's what this video is going to be about. It is almost fall. It's almost the end of August, and in my mind, fall starts September 1st. I don't care when it actually on the calendar starts, but fall starts September 1st. So essentially, if you watch my last video, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things before fall actually starts, because I just want to feel my best. I want to be back on my bullshit when fall is in full swing. I definitely got out of a lot of my good habits that I had built in the summertime. There was a lot of traveling involved. There was a lot of life changes going on, and it threw me off. It mega threw me off. So I've been trying to get back on my plan, because again, if you did watch my last video, which I'll link it down below, because I'll link it somewhere, or you can also just go to my page and watch it. But I talked about a lot of questionable behavior that was happening, binge eating specifically, and a lot of you actually reached out to me, which means the world. There were people that I haven't talked to in years that were reaching out to me on my Instagram that I knew personally, and there were also some awesome comments from you guys about how you related to it, how that kind of behavior impacts your life, how it's impacting your weight loss, the things that you guys have gone through in your life or are currently going through. And that just really spoke to me, because it helps me feel less alone. And I know it logically in my head, I am not the only person that's going through this. I'm not the only person even that's posting about it online. TikTok is the prime place to talk about these things and air your dirty laundry, but I yap too much for TikTok, so here I am on YouTube. But also, a lot of people were saying thank you for sharing that information, thank you for putting yourself out there, and I just want to say thank you guys for mentioning that. Thank you for saying something about it. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. It was very, very, very long. So if you watched it, thank you. But I needed to get that out there. I needed to tell you guys that I am really struggling. I needed to tell you guys that I'm not losing weight because of the struggles that I'm going through and because of the eating habits that are bubbling up to the surface. So yeah, I kind of just started talking. I don't really have a plan for this video. I did not track my weight this week because I didn't do very good, and I'm still really struggling. I'm in the depths of the struggles I talked about in my last video. So I'm kind of trying to heal myself from the inside out, and it's going to be a slower process than I even originally anticipated. Because weight loss is obviously slow. Even if you're the most mentally healthy person in the world, it's still going to be slow. You still have to take your time. There's a lot of changes that you have to make, small changes, and that takes time, right? So I was expecting a 100-pound weight loss to take a very long time, but now I suspect it's going to take even longer, because I have a lot of things that I need to heal on the inside before I can really see a lot of changes physically on the outside. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I will update you. So in my last video, I talked about, in the title even, it was talking about therapy. And I will say, I will update you guys that I did have an intake appointment today. So I found somebody that my insurance covers, which is phenomenal. I know I'm very lucky to have insurance that even covers anything related to it, because a lot of people are not that lucky and they don't have the options that I do. And someone I was friends with a long time ago mentioned this, it's called Grow Therapy, and basically there's a lot of different websites that function this way, but I had never heard of Grow before, and I used them, and you basically window shop for a therapist, and you can like add a bunch of filters and narrow it down based on like who you actually want to see. And that's how I found this therapist. And you can also filter by insurance, and you can put your policy number in, and they'll give you estimates and everything, and it is pretty affordable for me on my insurance plan. Again, it depends on your insurance, but I did see her for the first time today, and I'll kind of let you guys know how it goes. If you've ever gone to therapy before, the first appointment really doesn't do anything. You're basically just like telling them information. They're filling out their medical things that they need to fill out. They're asking you certain questions. They're kind of just getting a rough idea of who you are, what you're doing there, like what the goals are. And we did not get fully through. Again, I'm a yapper, so we didn't get fully through the like intake. So I'm meeting again next week with her, and we're gonna continue working through it. One thing I will say is that I'm very happy I'm going back again. I already kind of feel, this sounds so stupid, but I already kind of feel lighter because I'm taking a step in the right direction. I also got recommended this like coach on Instagram, and she tackles weight loss by focusing on like the mental aspects of it, and I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily focus on the mental part of things when you are losing weight, and especially if you have trauma, or if you have a really long complicated history of mental health conditions, or you have eating issues. Like those people online that are telling you, oh, calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit, it's not necessarily going to work for you, because you're not going to be able to stick to it because of all of the things that are going on in your brain. And your brain and your body are obviously directly connected, and so if you don't tackle one, you're not going to be able to tackle the other. Or you may succeed at first, but then fall off because you're really not getting down to the root of the issue. And for me, eating is a very emotional thing, and it provides a lot of comfort for me. And so if I don't tackle the root of that, I'm not going to be able to sustain a calorie deficit or the changes that I am trying to implement in my life if I just like push those problems down, because they're gonna come up. You're gonna have a stressful day, you're gonna have a stressful week, you're gonna get a puppy. If you're new here, I got a puppy and he's causing me a lot of stress. Love him so much, but he is a lot. He's a lot. And that kind of, we have a very comfy, cushy life, and I'm not like getting on here and bragging or anything, but I'm just explaining that we don't have a lot of stress. I don't personally have a ton of stress in my life. I don't have a lot of stressors. I am very thankful and grateful that I don't, and that I have been able to set up my life in a way that is comfortable, and I've been given the opportunities that I have been, so I can be comfortable at this stage, at least. No one knows what's gonna happen tomorrow, but when we brought in a stressor, aka my 4-month-old puppy, he kind of enlightened me that I wasn't handling things the way I should be. I hadn't healed from things that I should have been trying to heal from, or trying to learn how to heal from. I wasn't working on the things that I really needed to be working on. I wasn't working through things, and because our lives were very cushy, comfy, I wasn't taking the time to like dig into what was going on with me. And he brought that up to the surface. So I'm very thankful that he did that, even though he makes me want to rip my eyelashes out on a minute by minute basis. He helped me understand that there were things that I needed to work on, and I am now working on them. And going to the intake appointment, it just made me feel lighter. It made me feel a little more hopeful for my weight loss journey and my inner healing journey. And I'm definitely one of those people that can fixate on like self-help books and look at myself as something that needs to be fixed. That's not really the goal here. I'm happy with where I'm at, what I'm doing, and what's going on in my life, but there are some things that I need to work through or I need to heal from before I can feel confident moving forward in some of my other endeavors. And weight loss is one of those things. I'm obviously not just gonna like eat whatever I want and do whatever I want and quit working out in the meantime, because healing is like not linear and it could take a long time, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in therapy. I don't know if it's gonna be just like a permanent part of my life. I don't know. It's a journey. I'm hopping on the journey again, and I'm gonna see where it takes me. And I'm hoping that I can work through some of the issues that are causing me to fall off the bandwagon with my weight loss. But I will say this week, like to catch up on what actually happened this week, other than going to therapy and feeling confident about it today, I did not feel very good about my choices or my decisions with food this week. And to be honest, I didn't even think about it. Like, I was feeling a lot of shame because of some of the decisions I was making related to food. But I wasn't doing anything to change them, if that makes any sense. Like, I was just continuously making bad choices, and then I would feel bad and feel guilty after making them, but I was waking up the next day and doing the exact same thing, which is like not helping. It's not solving anything, and it's just making me feel bad. There's nothing positive about it. So that's kind of what I was doing. That's kind of a look into what my week was like, and it was fairly stressful at work. And by stressful at work, I don't work, nothing is life or death, okay? I'm not a nurse, I'm not a first responder, I'm learning to remove myself from, sorry, you guys are like on a table and I apparently need to level it out. So my apologies. But I'm learning to understand like what is actually something I need to be stressed about, or something that's worth giving my attention to. Obviously my work is worth giving attention to. That's a bad way of putting it. But I'm working on figuring out what is worth stressing over and what is not. So for me, as a stressed, anxious, very tightly wound individual, everything in my head is worth stressing about. It doesn't matter if it's cleaning the countertops, it doesn't matter about a huge project at work, it doesn't matter if it's walking the dog, it doesn't matter if it's what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. Everything is worth the stress. Everything is worth worrying about, and that's just simply not the case. Like, I need to take a mega chill pill about some things. So work is one of those things that's kind of easy for me to do that with, or start doing that with, because I am one of those lucky people that I definitely have like a shut off my work and my life. Obviously, like, my work is part of my life, and it's something that I do, and it's something that I talk with people about, whatever. But I do have the ability to kind of shut off my brain, my work brain, after I get home. So once I'm clocked out, I'm done, I'm not really thinking about it anymore. And that is kind of helpful in this case, because I can kind of understand, okay, I have this big project, or if I have this big deadline that's coming up, I need to give my attention to it, and I need to pay attention to what I'm doing, and I need to work on my tasks But after that's done, or after I clock out for the day, there's no use in worrying about it because that's not what I'm doing right now. I need to prioritize and compartmentalize a little better. And it's easy to start doing that with work. So I can be like, hey, I don't need to be stressed about this thing because there is nothing I can do about it right now. If I have a deadline tomorrow and I did all of my tasks and everything is set up and done, then why am I worrying about it at 7 p.m.? I'm not at work. That's not what I'm doing. I need to be cooking dinner, working out, playing with my puppy, like talking to my fiance. There's things that I can do instead. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is making any sense, but essentially I need to work on managing my stress, because stress then in turn leads to emotional eating. And if I don't manage the stress, I'm not going to be able to manage the emotional eating. So I'm trying to figure out how to handle tasks, get things done without being stressed about them. And I'm very organized. I'm very detail oriented. I'm very really anal about tasks and to-do lists and getting things done and having things go a certain way. But I also think that I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to having to be so organized and having to be so this, and this, that it's causing me a little bit more stress. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that I am trying to learn how to be more chill, and that might help me lower my overall stress, which would in turn lower my overall binge eating behavior, at least somewhat. Obviously there's other emotions other than stress that lead to emotional eating, but that's one of them, and that's a big one for me. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work on that. So next week, maybe some breathing exercises, maybe some meditation. I don't know, that seems a little intense for me, but maybe I don't know, a deep breath every now and then might help me a little bit. Like right then, that helped. I felt a lot of tension in my chest, and I needed to release that. But I definitely think having a weekly therapy is not just a vent session, but a lot of the times you're just getting a lot of stuff off your chest. I think that would be beneficial to me, and I'm excited to start doing that again. I had something else that I was gonna say, but I don't remember, so I'm just gonna jump right into this quote that I saw that I keep seeing all over social media, and it's that worrying is worshiping the problem, and I don't want to be worshiping the problem. Yes, there's things that you need to focus on. Yes, there's things you need to prioritize. Yes, there's things you need to get done. We're all adults. Well, we're all living in this whatever society that we have going on right now, and there are things that you need to get done. It might be brushing your teeth. It might be running a company. There's wide range here, wide variety, but you can't worship the problem and also have time to really think and do and succeed and accomplish that thing. I can't be dedicating 90% of my mental bandwidth, hello corporate Kelsi, to worrying about something and expect me to be able to put my best foot forward at actually completing that task. I need to have space in my brain to be able to accomplish that. And if I'm worrying about something all the time, I'm not gonna have the mental energy to do it. And I was also listening to a podcast, Giggly Squad, hilarious, you should watch it. But I was listening to one of their podcasts from a long time ago, one of their old episodes, and Hannah was saying that it's exhausting being anxious all the time, and it's exhausting living like that. If you're in your brain and you're in your head and you're anxious and you're worrying and you're thinking about things and you're fighting yourself in your head all the time, no wonder you're tired, no wonder you're not motivated, no wonder you're exhausted, because that takes a lot of energy to live like that. Your brain is all the time going like this, no wonder you're tired. Duh. It's you're constantly running a marathon. You can't, that's not sustainable. So going to therapy, working on these things might help me relax, might help me chill my brain out a little bit so I can focus on making better decisions, and I can focus on trying out new hobbies that don't include food, and I can work on trying new things, going new places, doing new stuff, building a social life of sorts. That's recommended. But I have more, hopefully the goal, I will have more mental energy, I'll have more capacity for other things, which will in turn help me make better choices. And I won't always be in the house, and I won't always be worrying about food, and the food noise will hopefully chill out a little bit. That's the goal. Also, another thing I want to update you on. If you're like caught up on my saga, I am a spin freak. Okay, rhythmic spin is my pride and joy. It's my most favorite thing in the whole world, okay? And I love doing it. I love the atmosphere. I love the actual activity. Sorry, I'm leaning on the table again. I love everything about it. And if you've been following me, I kind of fell off. The puppy, I felt bad leaving, so then I like kind of stopped for a while, but then I was also kind of in a slump even before that, and I wasn't really finding the joy in it. And that's kind of caused me to take like a really big break. On that note, however, I think I need to distance myself from it, like actually, because I've kind of been like on the fence with it. I've been like signing up for classes and then canceling, or going like once a week, but then feeling bad and not happy with my performance. And there's just like a tug of war that's happening in my head at all times related to spin, and I need to either be all in or let it go for a little bit. That's not saying I'm gonna quit and never come back. That's not what I'm saying, because it's one of my favorite things and I don't want to lose it, but I need to give my brain and my body a break from worrying about it. And right now that's all I'm doing. It's not like sparking joy when I go to classes. I'm not like excited to sign up for the next week. I'm just kind of dreading every class. That's not good. Battery died. But what I was saying is that that's not good. I don't need to be teetering on the edge of that all the time. So I think my decision is going to be to let it go. I'm not going to do spin anymore for a while. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm going to quit spin, and then I'm going to sign up for a different gym. I think I'm going to go to like Hotworks or maybe Orange Theory or something instead, because that does keep me accountable. I sign up for classes, I go, you guys know the drill. The class like structure helps me with my motivation and my attendance, but I don't think spin classes are working for me right now. I don't know if it's the environment. I don't know if it's just me, a personal thing. I don't know what's going on, but I think I need to like let it go. I need to let it be. If you love something, let it go. And that's what I need to do. So I cannot worry about it. I cannot stress about it. It cannot be constantly in the back of my brain. Hey, you need to sign up for classes. Hey, you canceled too many this week. Hey, they're going to be mad at you. Hey, like I need to let it go. I need to let it go. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start a new workout situation probably next week and see where that takes us. Hopefully it'll be a positive change and I can move forward with it. I hope that's gonna be the case. But I don't really have any other tidbits or pieces of it. Not that this was advice heavy whatsoever. I gave you basically no advice other than to go to therapy and don't be stressed, which is not helpful. But other than pumpkin spice coming back this week and at Starbucks, I have no updates for you. If you made it this far, I think this one was pretty long too. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Again, if you have any comments about your personal struggles, or if you have anything to say, if you have any advice for me, leave them down below. Message me on Instagram, do whatever, reply to my stories. Anything is nice. It feels good to be building this community and have people respond and give me pieces of advice or things that are happening in their life, it makes me feel very good, and it makes me happy that you guys feel confident enough to share your stories with me. And I love reading through the comments. I don't always get to them right away, but I do try to respond to everybody, and I love hearing all of your life advice. And on that note, thank you guys so much for being here. I am gonna stop yapping away, and I will see you guys in my next one. Okay, bye.